All right, so we're here with Tommy Milner, the driver of the BMW M3 GT2 for the American Le Mans Racing Series. We got a whole bunch of questions for him. We got about 20 questions, so just getting right into it. First and foremost, how long have you been a professional driver?
I've been racing cars professionally now since 2004. That was my first time racing cars, but it was in a professional series, and I finished that season. My first time in a GT car, actually qualified on pole and then winning a race that first year. So
that's awesome. So your family is very big into the racing scene. What was it like growing up in the whole racing scene and the car culture and everything?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I've grown up on race. My dad's been here since the late '60s, and he's been involved in racing for a long time. And so there's pictures of me at the racetrack. There's a local track. I'm probably a year old. Hanging out by the racetrack in the car. So when I grew up and I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that, I was probably more into sports for a long time. But then as my dad's racing started getting better and he was winning races or whatever, then I started to kind of take notice and really sort of pay attention to it. And I'll never forget, I was there for my dad's first race win with BMW when he was a factory team in '96 in Sears Point, and from then on I've just been in love with racing.
That's great. You got to go with what you love with, right?
Yeah.
So, what was your first car, non-professional car? What is the first car you drove?
First car was a '98, something like that, 528 station wagon. That was my mom's car. It was great. I mean, it's, nice car, but
got you around.
Yeah, exactly.
Point A to point B. What was your first professional car?
First professional car was a Formula BMW, which is like a learner's car. It's meant for kids coming into go-karts, which was I raced go-karts for a couple of years, and then I raced Formula BMW, and it's just like a low-powered Formula car, kind of like an Indy car kind of thing, open wheel, and it's just meant to teach you about the whole series is meant to teach you about like just everything about racing, from physical fitness to PR stuff, to media, talking to sponsors, how to set up a car. So it's just a good introduction to racing.
Cool. When did you decide you wanted to be a professional driver?
It's funny that for me, a lot of kids, that are racing now have grown up, racing go-kart at 6 years old or whatever, and just been wanting to be a driver, all their life. And people may think that same for me, but I connected more with, because my dad owned the race team. I was never a driver. He never drove a race in his life. He only ever worked in the car as an engineer for the race teams. I more associated myself with the work on the car part, doing all that kind of stuff. And the moment that my mind changed was when I drove my go-kart for the first time when I was 14 or 15, and then instantly I wanted to drive.
So you almost became an engineer then, eh?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I sort of saw myself as working on the car more than I ever saw myself driving it. But then I started racing go-karts a little bit, started winning, and then my dad, was like, there might be something here, actually.
Cool. That's awesome. When you're not racing, what do you do to relax?
I like playing sports. I played sports when I was younger, and I still today. I played lacrosse in high school, big fan of lacrosse, soccer, that kind of stuff. I mean, I got some friends that have some boats, whatever, so I like going out in the water.
Nice. Wakeboard or skiing?
Wakeboarding.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
like keep my legs together and not independent. So
cool. All right, so this is kind of an interesting question that we got from our community. What ambitions do you have? Is there a particular race that you want to race in?
That's a good question. I mean, for me, a lot of kids, like Formula One is like top. Is like that's the most prestigious racing series. But like Indy 500 is big in the States. But I've grown up around sports car racing, and for me, the biggest race to win would be Le Mans. And I've had a chance, luckily, to attempt to win it twice, and didn't go very well both times. But just being there, just to sort of experience Le Mans, it's like no other race I've been to. And to win that in class would be special, but overall would be, that would be like ultimate life goal, win Le Mans overall.
Well, it's a serious race.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even imagine it. What's it like driving the BMW?
It's
the M3 GT2, that is. So.
The race car is awesome. It's a really cool car. I mean, I've driven some of the previous generation M3s race cars, and this is without a doubt the best version. I mean, the motor's strong, the chassis is everything's so well built. You can tell they put a lot of effort into it. I mean, everything down to like the AC system in the car that keeps driving cool, whatever, you know, all that. There's all these lots of little small details that just make the cars so nice to drive. And so far, it's been pretty competitive. We've had, you know, good luck so far. I finished second at St. Pete and third at Long Beach, so we're knocking on the door there for the first win, which I haven't won in the LMS yet. I haven't won another series, but I haven't won in the LMS yet, and so that's definitely the goal for this year, is to get a win for BMW.